Tonight is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Nassau County Police have arrested a 14-year-old boy for the stabbing of another teenager. Police say Floyd McNeil Jr. of Hempstead was arrested last night and charged as an adult with attempted murder, assault, and possession of a dangerous weapon. The 15-year-old victim remains in the hospital in serious but stable condition. Police say the stabbing occurred Monday afternoon in a parking lot on Peninsula Boulevard in Hempstead. They say the victim was surrounded by a large group of people, one of whom stabbed him in the abdomen. Police did not release a motive. A Long Island woman is facing endangerment charges after police say a barbecue she lit inside her home for warmth caused several family members to suffer carbon monoxide poisoning. Suffolk County Police say Marie Claudia Blasey and her 13-year-old son and 10-year-old daughter were found unconscious in their Brentwood home early this morning. Her husband and another daughter were able to walk out of the house. All 5 were hospitalized. Blasey was listed in serious condition. The conditions of the others were not immediately available. Investigators believe she lit a barbecue grill in the house after the family had run out of heating oil. Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano recently attended the opening of a business in Garden City because he says he wants to let companies know that the county wants to make it more affordable to do business here. Elizabeth Zumba has more.
Nassau County says it wants businesses like Cheaper Peepers to feel welcome here. And officials recently thanked the optical store for choosing Roosevelt Field in Garden City for its flagship store. That's the chain's 4th store in Nassau County, and the owners say this is a place where Long Islanders can get glasses at a discounted price. Co-owner Richard Schreier says his stores are doing well in this economy because they sell eyeglasses at affordable prices, from as low as $50 to as high as $399 for designer glasses like Gucci or Versace. And he says prescription glasses are discounted 50%.
Hopefully in this kind of market where the economy has been so bad that people can still get the eyeglasses with that has fashion to it, but at a lesser price. And we've been very successful, thank goodness.
Cheaper Peepers will contribute once again to today's Nassau County economy.
Basically, we're making it more affordable for small businesses like Cheaper Peepers to open up here in Nassau County, create jobs, and generate sales tax revenue for our great counties.
Cheaper Peepers says it's looking for locations in Suffolk County and is expanding its presence in other parts of the country. In Garden City, Elizabeth Zumba, LI News Tonight.
Yesterday, we told you about 33-year-old Reginald Ross, charged with the shooting death of a man in Holbrook last year. He pleaded not guilty to that killing and to the killing of 51-year-old construction flagman Raymond Hurt in Lake Ronkonkoma last year. Suffolk County District Attorney Thomas Spoda described Ross as a high-ranking member of the Crips street gang and says Ross killed Hurt in anger over the heavy traffic at the construction site. Charged with Ross in the killing of the Holbrook man is 20-year-old Louis Cherry of Queens, also believed to be a Crips gang member. The motive in that killing was reported to be to lure a friend of the victim to Long Island for the funeral so he could kill him because of a drug debt. Well, the man charged with killing a Yale student just days before she was planning to be married on Long Island will reportedly plead guilty to the charge. It was back in September of 2009 that animal research technician Raymond Clark III was charged with the murder of 24-year-old Yale graduate student Annie Lee of California. Her body was found hidden in a wall of the research lab, and Clark had pleaded his innocence. Officials say a multitude of DNA evidence linked Clark to the killing. Clark is now expected to plead guilty tomorrow, but the specific plea deal was not specified. The 26-year-old Clark has been in prison on $3 million bail since his arrest. A Long Island congressman was honored recently for working to keep jobs in the United States. Congressman Peter King was presented with the National Association of Manufacturers Award. The association represents manufacturers in all 50 states and says King supports policies that enable businesses like D'Addario & Company in Farmingdale to create jobs and expand internationally. D'Addario makes guitar strings and other accessories for musical instruments. And the congressman says he's glad to see this business thrive during tough economic times.
Our country going through the worst economic times in the past 80 years. It's very encouraging to have a company right here in Long Island who is so successful, is doing so well, and is overcoming so many of the barriers that are put in your way.
Well, the president of D'Addario says legislation helped accelerate depreciation on machinery, allows companies to buy more equipment, which creates more jobs.
We've been able to continue to grow our company by trying to run our business even more efficiently than ever.
D'Addario says one barrier that still needs to be overcome is legitimate access to the growing Chinese market. He says being able to enter that market would help American manufacturers create hundreds of new jobs. Well, it was another down day on Wall Street today. The Dow was down 242 points. NASDAQ was down 50.5 points. And the S&P was down 25 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
The 10th annual Chefs for Children Food and Wine Tasting helps raise money for children with language and autism disorders at Jericho Terrace in Mineola on Wednesday, March 23rd at 6:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-609-2000, extension 214. Nassau Community College presents Cabaret based on the 1998 revival of the musical in Garden City, Wednesday, March 23rd through Saturday, March 26th at 8 p.m. and Sunday, March 27th at 3 p.m. For more information, call 516-572-7676. People in 128 countries will be taking part in Earth Hour this year by switching off their lights in celebration of Mother Earth on Saturday, March 26th at 8:30 p.m. For more information, log on to www.earthhour.org. Or take the kids to see Let's Have a Bite, a banquet of beastly rhymes at Nassau County Museum of Art in Roslyn Harbor, Tuesday to Sunday from 12 to 4:30 p.m. through May 8th. For more information, call 516-484-9337. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
In world headlines today, Japan's defense ministry decided today against dumping water from helicopters onto the most badly damaged reactors at a nuclear plant because radiation levels are too high. It would have been part of an effort to cool down the reactors. But emergency workers who were pulled out of the site when radiation levels soared today were being sent back in after emissions dropped to safer levels. Japan raised the maximum radiation dose allowed for nuclear workers. Workers are struggling with a fuel storage pond at one reactor that's believed to be leaking radiation. They're also dealing with possible damage to the containment vessel. Long Islanders following all what's going on with the nuclear reactors in Japan say they think the situation looks pretty bad.
Now with a nuclear meltdown, who knows what could happen to the rest of the world.
Wherever you flip, there's these plumes and clouds and of radioactive material floating through the air, and she's frightened. She's really scared. What do you explain to a 12-year-old that's going on? How would you explain that?
And some people question why we need nuclear reactors at all, especially in an earthquake-prone region.
For building a nuclear reactor plant, why would you build one in a country that is known for earthquakes when you know this could possibly happen? Why build nuclear reactor plants in that type of country? Why build them at all?
I worry about that, so much because, a lot of people suffering.
Well, the nuclear crisis has complicated the relief efforts. The U.S. carrier USS Ronald Reagan had to move out of the downward path of the reactors after low levels of radiation were detected on the carrier and among 17 helicopter crew members returning from a mission. In other world news, Muammar Gaddafi's forces have been hammering rebels in the east and west of Libya, intensifying efforts to retake control of the country he has ruled for more than 4 decades. Government forces have been hammering rebels in a strategic eastern city, whose fall would open the way for Gaddafi's forces to advance farther into the long stretch of eastern Libya that has been in control of the opposition throughout the month-long uprising. Residents say pro-Gaddafi troops also cut off communications today and began shelling Misrata, the last rebel-held city in the western half of the country. And the United States reportedly paid $2.3 million to secure the release of a CIA contractor in Pakistan, charged with killing 2 Pakistani men. The contractor, Raymond Allen Davis, was released from prison today. 19 relatives reportedly appeared in court today to accept the money. A Pakistani lawyer for the families of the 2 victims in the shooting in January called the money paid by the United States blood money. Then, just hours after the release of the contractor, the American Embassy reported the Justice Department has opened an investigation into those killings. Well, U.S. life expectancy has hit another all-time high. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced today that life expectancy is now 78 years and 2 months for a baby born in 2009. More good news, the infant mortality rate hit a record low, dropping in 2009 nearly 3% from 2008. Well, yesterday we told you about the growing concern from parents about the health of their children participating in sports. This in light of recent reports of young people dying during practice or competition from conditions that may not have been previously diagnosed. Now, a bill in New York would require schools to form committees that would keep students from returning to play for at least 24 hours after concussions, even if the athlete has approval from a physician. Long Island Republican State Senator Kemp Hannon said today the law would also apply to all students, not just athletes, whether they suffered concussions in physical education, classes, or just horsing around. Well, we had some lingering rain this morning, then the clouds gave way to some sun this afternoon. The high was in the mid-50s. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low in the low 40s. Tomorrow, a sunny day with a high around 60 degrees. Friday, chance of a few showers, a high up near 70. Saturday, chance of a few showers with a high around 50. And the outlook for Sunday, a sunny day with a high in the low 50s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.